The reason why I am making this video is because I think it was last week the government has decided that they were going to give 80-odd million of taxpayers' money to protect Jewish communities, Jewish schools, etc. $80-odd million because the government stated that anti-Semitism, with implied or expressed, they will stamp it out. This is how they take Jewish security. They will stamp it out and they will pour money, taxpayers' money, into protecting even unwarranted fears that's coming from the Jewish community, despite Muslims experiencing Islamophobia. No money for them. Okay, only for the Jews. In an ideal world, education should be blacks, white, all different religions coming together, going to school, getting educated. But sadly, we're living in the real world. You're going to face discrimination. Teachers who are deliberately going to push forward white kids and hold back black kids. You know, teachers are not perfect. They're going to have racism in their bodies. Okay? You can't hold them for that. So in the real world, sadly, you're not going to have, you know, the Martin Luther King's dream of all religions and class and races studying together. It's not going to happen.
Deeply rooted in the American dream, I have a dream that one day this nation will rise up and live out the true meaning of its creed. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal. That one day on the red hills of Georgia, the sons of former slaves and the sons of former slave owners will they be able to sit down together at the table of brotherhood. I have a dream.
Okay, hence why you have Pan-African schools, because black children were being held back in white schools, and also black boys were told you couldn't even have dreadlocks, whereas the Jews, you can have dreadlocks. The Jews can go into main schools with their strange hats, their strange attires, no problem. But if you're black, you can't even have a short hair. You can't even have a short braid. Even to realize maybe black people are better off going to their own schools. If you're going to give the Jews indulgence and break the rules when it comes to Jews, if you're going to break the rules, then it's no wonder other people are saying, well, we want our gay schools. Other people are saying we want our only female gyms, our only, because they realize that the Jews are getting everything handed to them. They can teach whatever they want to teach. They can bring up the Holocaust as many times as they want, and no one's going to challenge them. But if you're black and you discuss critical race theory, you're going to get, attacked for it. The likes of Carol Malone, she has nothing to say about Jewish schools. She doesn't accuse them of being segregated. But you try doing it if you're black and you're being segregated. You get a question, what's their motives? Why can Jews get away with having taxpayers' money? Taxpayers' money, whether unwarranted fears or not. Immediately the government is going straight into the purse and forking out 80 million to step up security. The government turned a blind eye to what the Zionist Jews teach in their schools. Yet you try that at a black school, a Pan-African school, that would not be allowed. You know, some black women weren't even allowed to have their hair in their natural cultural state. They begin to realize something does not make sense. You cannot treat one group of people differently to you would another. You can't do that. And this is what is happening. The government are favoring the Jews over anyone else. If you dare say, well, you know something, this isn't right, you're anti-Semitic. The Conservative Party goes around, we gotta deal with anti-Semitism. Yeah, it's okay for Boris Johnson, right, to be rampantly racist. They have no problem with that as long as he's racist towards black people. But don't you dare touch the crown jewels. Don't you dare touch the Holy Grail. Don't you dare mess with the Jews. You know, and this is why a lot of people are sick and tired of double standards. Double standards. I don't believe in critical race theory. I don't believe in having all black schools. But when I see that the Jews are getting away with everything, when I see the Jews can have their own schools, I think, well, fair is fair in love and war. Why can't black people have their own schools as well? Maybe that's the reason why the Jews are clever and intelligent, because they're taught by their own kind. You come and debate me. You tell me if I'm wrong. Maybe if you're taught by your own kind, you're more likely to be successful than you're taught by, quote unquote, the enemy. Maybe you're better off being taught by your own kind. And this is the reason why the Jews have their own schools. I'm sure Muslims do too. You know, now that's the reason why it's a double-edged sword, because I don't believe that people should segregate like this. But sadly, when it comes down to it, the government allowed the Jews to have their own schools. They allow the Jews to have funding, you know, from taxpayers' money, whether warranted fear or not. They treat the Jews differently. They don't call discrimination towards the Jew racism. They call it anti-Semitic. You know, they're more posh. You know, racism, that's for scowling. You know, that's rubbish words. But anti-Semitic, it gives them a better flavor. You know, they're on the top of the experience of the discrimination ladder. You're anti-Semitic, not racist. You think, what's the difference? And now the difference is they're letting you know that they prefer the Jews. Let me know, what do you think of this video? You might say, well, why have black schools? Why have Jewish schools? Why have all gay neighborhoods? But the government are funding all gay neighborhoods. You know, the double standard